Hey everybody, how y'all doing? I hope everybody's doing well. Having a few difficulties here that I have to work through. And then we'll be in business. Okay? All right, let's get this show on the road, boys and girls. All right, first I want to introduce you to ROM, which is reverse ombre. And the name is Irish Coffee. This is this beautiful girl right here. So you've got reverse ombre, you've got the light on the top and the dark on the bottom. The bottom is a beautiful chocolate brown, and it kind of goes into a little bit darker, a lighter, like it kind of melts into a brown, and then it melts into a darker chocolatey brown. So it is your standard lace front. It is 2 combs in the front, 1 comb in the back, adjustable straps. I look like a flight attendant. Anyway, 2 combs, 1 comb, 3 combs total, adjustable straps, lace front, beautiful lace front, beautiful lace front. I did not put makeup in the part, and I did not flatten. I didn't flatten the top at all. Everybody feels the need to put heat. I did not. I don't need it flat like a pancake on the top of my head. Now, some units you may want to do that too because it's too poofy right here. Right? So you put heat and you flatten her down. This particular line is called Sleek Lay, which basically is it lays flat on its own. You do not need to do anything to it. I'm not getting a lot of tangles. I'm getting some, but that's standard. You know, that's typical. I've been finger combing it as opposed to brushing it. Do not grab brushes, people, because that twisted style will not last very long if you start brushing it out right out the gate. And then you've got Frizz City. So when you can, finger comb it only. Okay, girls? Also, so it's ROM, Irish Coffee. The name of her is Genevieve. That's her name, Genevieve. Okay? All right. So a little bit of shedding, no big deal. Let me give you a warning about her. Oh, let me show you the length. Okay, I'm tall. I'm 5'10", and she reaches right here on me. Okay? And she's gorgeous. She's drop dead gorgeous. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. Let me get to what I was going to say in a second. I'm not going to lie to you. When I first saw her, I was like, I'm not really feeling that at all. But I had curiosity, so I kept looking at her and looking at her and looking at her and looking at her. And every time I fell deeper and deeper into it, I'm like, oh, I'm falling down a rabbit hole here. I'm falling in a rabbit hole. And then I was like, she's gorgeous. But you know, anything that's this dramatic, your eyes kind of get shocked and you go, I don't know about that. And then you try her. The more you look at her, the more you fall in love. I mean, there's just not a lot of ways around it. It's classy. It's sophisticated. You can dress it up or down. If I had her on and I'm going to the dog park, I'll twist it up in a little clippy and put a visor on my head and keep it moving. You know, keep the sun out of my eyes and all that. But I would strongly give you some advice, okay? I have on a tan wig grip underneath. And it's an extended. It's got an extended part to it, and it's called GEX, and it's on Amazon. Okay, you cannot see tracks. Let me give you some advice, powerful advice. Okay, everybody puts makeup in the part. Okay, and then everybody kind of copies what everybody else is doing. Not that that's a bad thing, but if you're going to have potentially bad results, you better not do that. Okay, don't put makeup in the part, because you run the risk of orange staining coming through. You know how I know? Because I've already done it on another unit that's identical to this one. And I didn't like that. So I didn't have blonde up here. And it's not as shiny in person as it is on camera. I didn't have blonde. I had blonde with a streak of orange. And honey, I tried everything in the world to get that staining off of there. Guess what? It ain't going nowhere. So if I were you, when you're dealing with blonde units or white, some units are white with colors, oh, what else? Pink, because I've got TT Rosemary. That's got the pink and it fades into the burgundy. And I learned the hard way and I learned fast. Do not put makeup in the part. I wouldn't do it if I were you, because it could cause orange staining that you cannot wash out. Okay, so it looks great. The scalp looks great. Another thing that y'all have to recognize and realize is that your scalp is much lighter than your face. A dead giveaway that you're wearing hair. Listen carefully. A dead giveaway that you're wearing hair is when your scalp, your part matches your face perfectly. Your scalp doesn't get any sunshine to it, so it's going to be white. Regardless of how dark you are, your scalp's going to be much lighter. If it looks identical to your face, that's a dead giveaway that you're wearing hair. Do what you want with that information. That's on you. Okay? So if it's lighter, it's supposed to be. All right. So let me go to my topic today, which is discussing children who get everything and because of it, they become narcissistic. I just got rid of a so-called friend who is a rattlesnake / female narcissist pretending to be hyper-religious. Girl, bye. Okay? Girl, bye. That is the BS she hides behind. All right, Ad, I don't need you. I need you to get lost, okay? So let me go to where it's relevant, because, you know, they give you this beginning part of the article that we don't really need to hear all that. Okay. Okay, so narcissistic personality disorder is a complex and only partially understood condition that afflicts a small handful of people. There's also evidence that both genetics or nature and environment or nurture play a role in the formation of narcissistic personality disorder, which is also called NPD. Having said that, many people, their numbers seem only to increase in the age of social media and public division, amen and amen, display some of the most unpleasant signs of narcissism. Their actions and patterns of thinking can be delusional, aggrandized, and harmful to others. Even without a formal diagnosis, an individual's narcissistic tendencies can disrupt relationship and damage lives. Okay? So basically we talked about how children who are hyperindulged when they're little, they grow up to have a king or queen complex. King or queen complex. And that can easily turn into NPD. And it does. Okay? So children who are indulged at every turn certainly run a higher risk of developing narcissistic tendencies, even full-blown narcissistic personality disorder. We talked about this in another video. They have poor impulse control and have been conditioned to see themselves as more important than others. Remember the bitch I just got rid of? She's on Instagram all the time posing in her little outfits, her new outfits that mommy bought her. Okay, narcissistic. Look at me in all my new clothes, and look at how beautiful I am. Because her mother taught her that she's a queen, and that's it. So she acts like a spoiled bitch. She don't care about you. She only cares about what you can do for her. Like every other narcissist that I know. I care about you as long as there's something in it for me. And I really don't care about you. I'm just keeping you in my back pocket just in case I need you. Yeah, ask her how well that did when I dumped her in the trash where she belongs. Anyway, read on for more insight. Okay, so let's talk about the limits of indulgence. Please don't tell me there's something in my eye, because that would really make me upset. All right. When very young children are growing up, their developing minds are constantly learning and testing the boundaries of behavior. A toddler throwing a tantrum is an example of how children will push boundaries and attempt to bring attention to themselves. Your response to them gives them cues on how to behave in the future. I forgot to show you the back of this. I don't know if I could turn around. I'm sorry. Let me interrupt myself for a second. It's going to be hard for me to turn around because of all the things I've got set up here, but I'm going to do the best I can. There's the back. Okay. Absolutely stunning. They did a fantastic job on this. All right, let's go back to where I was. I did interrupt myself because some of y'all going to be like, I didn't even get to see the back of it. Yes, you did. Don't fib. Gauging how your children respond to the word no is important in order to check yourself on how much you reward negative behavior. Giving in to tantrums or granting children the power of veto, they ultimately get what they want regardless of your initial objections. Okay? Creates a dynamic of overindulgence that can blossom into narcissistic behavior. Often parents accidentally spoil children simply because it's easier to give in than to stand up. Okay? Another characteristic of the spoiled child is that many want more. Oh, tell it. No matter how many toys or games or pairs of shoes they have, they demand more. If you continue to give into these unreasonable and selfish demands, then you are signaling to your child that they are entitled to whatever they deserve. Spoiled children are also impatient. Not only do they constantly want more, they want more right away. This fixation on immediate gratification leads to poor impulse control, which has been linked to inferior academic performance, excuse me, as well as fewer professional opportunities later in life. Excuse me. Okay. Bear with me. All right. The one that I got rid of, she doesn't do poor in academics at all. In fact, she excels. So that's one thing, like every narcissist isn't going to be identical to each other. And she wanted more and more and more. And when this type of behavior does not always go just for children, but it starts off in childhood, right? I recognize as I'm reading this, I recognize the impatience. She wanted this person's husband like yesterday. Now. Why do I have to wait? Let's go. You need to divorce your wife. Let's go. So I'm a brat and I'm used to getting my way. And if I want somebody's husband, God told me I could have him, which she knows damn well that's not true. But she probably convinced herself that God wanted that to happen. Well, if that's the case, why is it so hard for you to get him? Because you're not supposed to have him in the first goddamn place. That's why he's married to somebody else. Bitch. Anyway, the spoiled child will gradually begin to exhibit behavioral patterns that are at the core of the narcissism. For instance, children who are consistently spoiled start to believe that everyone and everything revolves around them. This goes into adulthood too, by the way. It's not limited to children. They don't play with other kids and feel that they are superior to their peers. Peers, P-E-E-R-S. They also become sore losers. Why can't I have this woman's husband? Why? Because he's not married to you. That's why. Ugh. Another hallmark of the narcissist, the inability to accept that you cannot always win. Hello? That you aren't always the best. That you aren't always the best leads to sullen and sometimes angry responses. That's exactly right. Their losses aren't their fault. The game is rigged or others have cheated. Right. No. Shifting blame onto others is also a characteristic of narcissism. Oh my God. The only thing missing is her face and her name. All right? She's not a child. She's supposedly an adult, but she's got a spoiled attitude like what a child would have. Okay? Do I not have any? I don't. Okay. All right. Anyway, moving right along. Children who have been overly indulged can also become skilled manipulators. If they don't get what they want from one parent or adult, they will simply go to another, softer target to try again. It's notorious for them to play one parent against the other too. Okay? When parents don't provide a united front, the spoiled child becomes quite good at playing them off of each other. They can also devolve into routine extortion. Hold on a minute. Y'all got to bear with me for a second, okay? Please bear with me. And my nose is running. It's really cold today. And my nose is running. So bear with me. It's running down the road. Okay. Sorry, y'all. Real life. Okay, let me not knock anything over, because that would totally suck. And I did it anyway. Freaking hell. Okay, sorry guys. Real life, I don't edit this crap out. I just don't. It's real life, you know what I'm saying? Okay, sorry about that. Like I said, my nose was running. It's real cold today. It's like 24 degrees all day. It was 23 degrees, and then it went up 1 degree all day, and it was spitting snow earlier in Missouri. All right. This could also devolve into routine extortion. This is when a child refuses to perform chores or complete necessary tasks unless they are rewarded. This kind of bribery is the ultimate expression of emotional manipulation, as the child wrests control from the parents. Wow. There are thankfully ways in which you can halt the progression of your child's gradually developing narcissism, even if you have heretofore engaged in indulgent parenting. First, regain the ground you've lost by explicitly declaring that things are going to change. Set clear expectations and guidelines for future behavior if it's not too late. Okay. To end tantrums and other inappropriate patterns in the face of no, such as whining or manipulation, don't allow yourself to engage. You must change your parenting tactics here. You might walk away or impose a consistent set of consequences for spoiled, rotten conduct, depending on the child's age. If you give in, it signals to the child that this behavior is unacceptable. Okay? Excuse me, I'm sorry. That this behavior is acceptable. I knew that didn't sound right. Did I say unacceptable? So when you give into their wants and needs and their whining and stomping their foot and cross their... When you give into that, you're teaching them that you're supposed to have your way, and if I don't give you your way, then something's wrong with me as a parent. Wait, it's supposed to be the other way around. The world don't owe you nothing. Okay? That's it. The best way to head this off at the pass is to be direct and clear with your child. Let them know what the consequences will be right up front and stick to them. Consistency is key in retraining a spoiled child to build better interpersonal skills. You must also understand that your new parenting style will not win you many friends, at least at first. It's hard to say no, especially when a child seems inconsolable or when you are just really tired. If you hold fast, though, you will be creating the conditions for a much brighter future for them. Okay, nipping the narcissist in the bud. Once you establish some of the above parenting... Oh, excuse me, I can't talk today. All right, let's try this again. Once you establish some of the above parenting... I cannot talk today. Parenting techniques... Dealing with your child will become progressively easier. In the first place, practicing saying no will only make you better at it. In the second place, the child's reactions will grow less volatile over time. They will begin to accept and expect boundaries. Also learn to parent with appropriate praise. When your child does something generous or responds civilly to hearing no, notice and acknowledge this. A child needs to know when they are doing something good just as much or more so than they need to be corrected for bad behavior. Teaching your formerly spoiled child the joys of earning a reward is another powerful parenting tool. Instead of feeling constantly entitled, your child will begin to experience the pleasure of effort rewarded. This fosters an invaluable sense of self-worth and self-respect in your child. Don't be afraid to bolster your new parenting decisions by imagining the impact that this will have on their future. Okay? If you want them to be successful and self-sufficient, both in their professional and personal lives, then you know that no matter how hard at times, you are doing the right thing. Final thoughts. Spoiling children can create narcissistic tendencies that can hamper a child's future in many ways. Overindulgence leads to feelings of entitlement and superiority that interfere with interpersonal relationships and professional achievement. Shifting your parenting style from indulgence to consistent limitations can disrupt the progression from spoiled, rotten kid to toxic, narcissistic adult. Learning to earn rewards and work with others nurtures a healthier and happier human being. Whatever causes narcissism, what can help you is to understand how to stand up to the narcissist in your life. And there's videos that you could click on in the article, and I'll tell you where I got this article from. If you want more tips for dealing with narcissists, setting boundaries, and managing emotional triggers, make sure you subscribe to her channel. Okay, YouTube channel. Her name is Patricia. So her name is Patricia. Narcissistic abuse takes a terrible toll on your life. I'm Patricia, and my mother is a narcissist, so I know what you're going through. These blog posts will help you understand narcissism better and give you tips for dealing with the narcissist in your life. Healing starts here. So the name of this article is excuse me. Okay, let's try it again. InnerToxicRelief.com. Just spoiling your child something. Let me see what that says. Okay. So what I'm going to try to do is remember to put it in the information box, the description bar in the bottom. Okay. It's InnerToxicRelief.com. InnerToxic. InnerToxicRelief.com. Inner, like an inner tube. InnerToxicRelief.com. So just spoiling, and I don't have the rest of that on here, but let me see. Can I copy that? Anyway, let me go back. Okay. Inner toxic relief does spoiling a child cause narcissism. Okay, so I don't know if you're going to be able to read that. You're probably not going to be able to see that very well. I'll try to remember, like I said, I'll try to remember to put it in the description bar. And this person is a prime example of an adult who not only was spoiled as a child, but she's still being spoiled. She will have her ass kissed until her mother dies, and then that all stops. It all stops to a screeching halt. Okay? And she's going to be really hosed at that point because everything stops. And I mean, I was much older than her when I was married the first time. and we considered I've got allergies. I did go to the doctor and I need to do a nasal spray. Oh my God. Are you kidding me right now? Anyway, I was much older than her, And we considered moving into, when I was married the first time, we were considering moving into a luxury apartment. I was living in Louisiana at the time. Um, and we could have afforded a luxury apartment. It wasn't going to be nowhere near as expensive as, for example, New York or California. And those apartments were really, really nice. But that's when you're older and you're more established in your life. You're not 28 years old living in a luxury apartment. Her mother put her ass in a luxury apartment with furniture in it. Okay? It was already furnished. So you already know. And it has a clubhouse and a swimming pool and all of that. So you already know that's going to be expensive as hell. All right? Even in Missouri, where I live in Missouri. It's going to be expensive as hell. But her mother feels like you are a queen. You don't have to work for it. You're going to get it. Okay? Her mother probably got her car, makes the payments on it, and every goddamn thing else. I mean, this bitch is just entitled, and frankly, it's not fun being in her presence, especially once she had her eyes on the so-called prize. She was hell bent on being with him. And I already told you that their child almost died, and she didn't give a shit. I don't care if your son almost died. So what? Here, let me play the violin for your sad song. I want to break your family up. I don't care what y'all go through with your child, and y'all have been going through all kinds of mountains. You've had all these mountains to climb, and you've almost lost your child's life. I don't care. I don't care. I'm going to break the family up because I'm greedy for your husband. Do I deserve him? No. But since he talked all these sweet words to me and made me feel good about myself, because narcs are very shame-based and they have a lot of negative feelings about themselves. So they deliberately use other people to feed them good things about themselves that they don't believe. But if you keep feeding me that, I feel good about myself. So hey, bring it on, bring me more. You know, she was addicted to all that. And he was never leaving his wife, which he told her in so many words or less. And she didn't care. When you insinuated that you weren't leaving her, I'm going into Project Get That Man, no matter what. You know, get that husband. It makes no difference. I'm going after him. If it destroys his wife, she ends up in a psych ward, or she ends up can't function, or son gets taken away because she lost her husband and she bottoms out. I don't care. As long as I got your man, baby. She's the cancer of society. Narcissists are society's cancer. Okay? They are our cancer. That's how destructive they are. They don't give a shit about the pain they leave behind. They don't care. So what? And like I told you, I'm going to let y'all go, but like I told you, they have this mentality. You know, you look at the narcissist Bible, the first line is, what that got to do with me? I'm convinced that they have a book. They all follow the same rules, which are non-rules. They do what the hell they want when they want. First line is, what that got to do with me? You almost died. Your kid almost died. Whoop, whoop, whoop. What that got to do with me and what I want? I want your wife, or I want your husband. And if I want your spouse, I have a right to have them. I know somebody else who's like that. She was after... Wow. She was after this guy. He was engaged. And that's pretty sexy for a narcissistic woman. The fact that you're taken. I like this. That's how they think. I like this. And she was determined she was going to get a piece of him. And she just all smiles and giggles around him, knowing that he's engaged. And then what made it worse, we're going to go there because we're all adults. What made it worse was he is a piercer, okay? And we saw his manly bits because they're not shy about their body. And if you go for a piercing, you're obviously not shy about your body. You're trying to get a piercing down there or a nipple piercing or whatever. So people are like, hey, go for it, pierce it. You know, there's not really a body shame thing. So he has his pierced down there. And so he shows it in a book that's in his office. Well, she was looking through that and she said, oh, this guy right here, he's got a nice, he looks good. Meaning his, you know what looks good. And he goes, thank you. Well, then we knew it was obviously him, and that probably got her even more hot. I got to see your stuffies, and I've been wanting you anyway. Let's go. Yeah, okay. Nikki will knock the hell out of her. Okay? Nikki don't play. She's a sweet girl. She's, you know, she's a really nice lady, but if you get on her wrong side, oh, God help you. I've never been on the wrong side because I ain't stupid. Okay? But I wasn't after her man either, so I'm not a threat. Anyway, at the tattoo shop, he's the piercer. And there was a customer that came in there that was all over him. And Nikki said, I think Nikki put her out and told her you're never going to come back here again. She sure did. She sure did. You ain't going after my man. And when she told me she booted her out, I said, did she ever come back? She said, no. She ain't going to toy with Nikki, please. Nikki will knock her out. Okay? She'll probably wake up a week later trying to get somebody's man. Some people ain't going to play that game with you. They not. They go straight upside your head. Now try it if you want to. But I know for a fact, her seeing his, you know, got her even more hot and bothered. I'm a mature adult, so it don't get me all in a tizzy. I wasn't feeling him anyway. Plus, he has somebody in his life. What the hell? She'd have lost her little horny mind up in here. There was another guy that was married that she drove all the way to Minnesota to see him and all this other. That's how we ended up taking a trip to Minnesota. She chasing after this married man who was on a dating site. I told you married guys are on there. I ain't lying. Married women are on there too. They know god dang well they don't need to be on no dating site. Must be crazy. Anyway, so there's an article that you can check out for your own self, and it talks about how to deal with, underneath that article, talks about how to deal with siblings who are also narcissistic. And hopefully this article and this information is good for you, and I hope that you learn something. You don't want to wait until your child is, you know, more than 5 years old and then decide to make them fight for what they want, or learn to tell them, you know, you learn to tell them no or whatever. Do it as soon as you can, as early as you can. From a baby, no. Let them scream and holler. No child died from screaming. He or she is going to be just fine. The world, see, as a parent, right? And I'm going to let you guys go. But as a parent, you're supposed to be shaping and molding that child to prepare for the world. Okay? That's your responsibility. You're shaping and molding them. Like the movie Ghost, where she's working the potter's wheel and he's behind her and both of their hands are forming the clay. You are supposed to form the clay, which is your child's psyche. You're to prepare them for the world. Okay? If you give them everything they want, you are not preparing them for the world, because the world is not going to cater to them. The world is not going to say, oh, your parents give you everything you want. Well, shoot, we got all these people that applied for the job. We're going to throw them in the trash and give the job to you. That's not going to happen. Okay? All right? It's just not going to happen. The restaurant is not going to skip you to the front of the line. These people have been waiting for an hour. They're going to get in before you. When you just waltzed in the door, you're not going to get pushed to the front of the line. They don't give a shit who you are. Unless you're a multimillionaire, then money buys everything. But I'm just saying, the world's not going to cater to you like your parents do. So you're not shaping them for the world. You're shaping them to not be able to adapt in the world. And that is abusive. Okay? You're throwing them into the lion's den and they expect the lions to treat them well. That's not how it works. Okay? You are supposed to prepare them. The world does not and will not kiss their behind because of who they are. So it's it's a bad thing to cater to them. The rest of the world doesn't care about who you are. They just don't. They just don't. So shape them and mold them in preparation for the world in a realistic way. The world does not care about who you are, doesn't care that you've gotten everything you wanted. They don't care. You came here last, so you have to wait. It's just that simple. Okay? It's just that simple. So anyway, you guys take care. Y'all be good, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.